इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो आखा बिरथा जी की आखा बिरथा जी की गुर सज्जन दे मिलाए जियो 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 जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो जो दीसै गुर सिखड़ा इस निव निवला गो पाए जियो सोई दास उपदेसड़ा मेरा मन अनत न काहू जाए जियो सोई दास उपदेसड़ा मेरा मन अनत न काहू जाए जियो एह मन तैकू देवसा मैं मार्ग दे हो बताए जियो एह मन तैकू देवसा मैं मार्ग दे हो ਤੱਕੀ ਤੋ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਆਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਜੋ ਦੀਸੈ ਗੁਰ ਸਿਖੜਾ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਜੋ ਦੀਸੈ ਗੁਰ ਸਿਖੜਾ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਤਿਸ 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 ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ 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 ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਜੋ ਦੀਸੈ ਗੁਰ ਸਿਖੜਾ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਜੋ ਦੀਸੈ ਗੁਰ ਸਿਖੜਾ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਹੋਇਆ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਹੋ ਆਇਆ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਹੋ ਆਇਆ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੱਕੀ ਤੋ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਆਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੈਂ ਤੱਕੀ ਤੋ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਆਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਜਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਜਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਆਸਾ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਿਤ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਸਭੋ ਦੁਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਏ पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो पाए जियो निव निव लागो पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो तिस निव निव लागो पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो पाए जियो पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो तिस निव निव लागो पाए जियो निव निव लागो पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो पाए जियो तिस निव निव लागो निव निव लागो निव निव लागो पाए जियो।
वाहिगुरू संगत जी, this Shabad, this Bani has been blessed to us by Guru Arjan Dev Ji Padshah. I know that many of you sitting here will be familiar with this Shabad, or should I say Bani, because it's an actual composition, so it's an actual Bani. This is by Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. Does anybody know what this Bani is called? Does anybody know what this Bani is called? Front row, any takers for what this Bani is called? No? Anyone? There we go. We got somebody from the back. We've got our Manpreet saying it's called Gunvanti. This Bani is called Gunvanti. Who's familiar with this Bani? Who's read this Bani themselves and taken time out to understand what Guru Arjan Dev Ji is saying in this Bani? Anybody familiar with it that's taken time out to read it themselves? Okay. Well, that's why we're all here. We're here to go through it together. Sangat ji, before Gunvanti, there's two other Baniya. But there are two other Baniya before Gunvanti. They are blessed to us by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So, Sangat ji, first, Guru Nanak Dev Ji blessed us with the Bani, which is called Kuchaji. Then it's Suchaji, then it's Gunvanti. It comes in that order. So the first Bani is Kuchaji, then Suchaji, then Gunvanti. Anyone, Sangat here, that's heard of the first Bani, that was referred to, which is Kuchaji? Anybody heard of Kuchaji? That Bani in Guru Granth Sahib Ji? Okay. Suchaji. All right. What is Kuchaji? What does Kuchaji mean? There may be some of us that are sitting here may have even been called this in our life. We may have heard somebody calling somebody else this. And it often comes up in sentences like, so somebody might have said to someone that, La, Kuchaji jai na hove, aida thodo banaida ya. Has anybody heard that sentence, that word come up in a sentence? Who's familiar with the word Kuchaji? Just the word Kuchaji. Okay, so, Sangat ji, the word Kuchaji comes from the word Chaj. And we've all heard this word when we say Chajnal Kari. And Sangat ji, I was a little bit afraid today if I'm going to be able to do Katha Chaj de Naal. And hopefully that helps you to understand it even more. So, Sangat ji, that we've all heard that, right? When somebody says Chajnal Kari, everyone's familiar with that. Sangat ji, most of us here may at some point in our lives feel like Kuchajiyan. And Kuchaji means jadon apno chaj niga kise koi kam karan vaste. And Sangat ji, chajam bhav eda matlab hunda. So when chaj means when you know how to do something well, you know how to do something properly. Kuchaj means the opposite, when you're not getting something right and you keep making mistakes and you keep falling. That's who a Kuchaji is. A Kuchaji is somebody that is trying to do the work, but she keeps messing it up. And when I say she, don't think I'm being here, I'm discriminating, because the Bani is recited in that way. And when I say she, I mean all of us. Because Guru Sahib Ji says, when we come here, we all come together as sisters. And I know Singhs, you might be freaking out a little bit here. It's not in that physical context, it's okay. We're talking about this, we come together as sisters from inside, internally. We come together as these brides wanting to please our husband. That husband, Vaheguru, that husband, Guru Nanak. That husband, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Or whatever Guru you're feeling today. If you're feeling a different Guru today, that's fine. You can shout it out. Anybody feeling a different Guru today? Anyone? Anyone feeling a different Guru? No, we're all okay. We'll go with Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Singh Ji, when I read this Bani, because first when you think the title is Kuchaji, meaning somebody that always messes up. And I thought, all right, this is referring to somebody negative. When I read this Bani, I thought, wow. Why? Because it tells the story of so many of us. And it starts off with, how does it start off? Manya, Kuchaji, Amavan, Dosade. I was going to say a quick well done to myself. I remember that quite well. Not read that Bani for many years. A little proud moment. But Sangaji, look, jokes on one side. When we're sitting here in the Guru's Charan, not only when we're sitting here in the Guru's Charan, even our jokes should be teaching us something. We shouldn't say anything empty in our life. Because the truth is that tap on the back, what is it an opportunity for? What's that tap on the back? You know, when you recognize something about your own self and you say to yourself, for anything or something at some point in your life, and you say well done to yourself, what is that an opportunity for? That is an opportunity to say thank you to Vaheguru. So Sangat Ji, over here Guru Sahib Ji saying, Man Kuchaji amavan dosade, Hon kyon shohravan jai jiyo. When we look at these words of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Pacha Ji saying man means I am. I am a Kuchaji. I am somebody that doesn't quite know how to do it. I don't quite know how to get it right and perfect. Man Kuchaji amavan dosade. Sangaji, anybody familiar with the word dosade? Anybody know what dosade means here? Any idea? Gurpreet, you're going to give it a go. Because you just had your head down. Oh, you're cheating. You worked it out what word it is. All right, stop reading. What is the word dosade? Did anybody sitting here think it was a dosa? I'm just asking the question. Milne nege, I mean, ardas kan lapiyo. And then you're going to say, Meri ardas nahi puri hui. Yeah, it's referring to dosade means faults. And Sangaji, how did it get from dosade to faults? How does that even go? Because this is Punjabi, by the way. There's not that much Punjabi in Gurbani. You'll find a lot of Sanskrit, but not a lot of Punjabi. And you're thinking, I don't use that word. I speak Punjabi. This is called Sindhi Pasha. This was spoke in the west of Punjab. So west of Punjab, Sindhi, Punjabi, and there's some areas that still speak in that way. Dosade comes from the word dosh. Dosh means to blame or mistake or fault. And this is now, imagine, now some of you may be able to relate to this, I definitely can. When I think of these words, I'm speaking from my own self. Man, I am Kuchaji, somebody that gets it wrong a lot of the times. Amavan dosade, I've got that many faults that amavan means inne dosha mere vich mere andar samaye nahi jande o bahar dol pende ne. Did everybody get that? I'll translate, don't worry. Amavan Sangaji comes from the word samavan, when something is able to fit into something. But amavan means when something can't fit into a container because there's so much of it. He's saying that I've got so many mistakes, I mess up so many times that mistakes are overflowing out of me. Some of you may be able to relate to this, or at some point in your life. Normally the word Kuchaji, a lot of mothers would use it for their daughters. Again, please, don't think I'm discriminating here against the bibi or anything, because it was often used when she was learning how to cook in the kitchen. So now when she first starts making prashad and she makes the map of India, her mom says, Kuchaji jai na hove, aaki banata. Who's ever made a naksha of a prashada? Some of the Singhs might have as well. So who's made prashade here? Who's made rotiyan? Who's made rotiyan? Who's tried making roti? Or who's made all sorts of shapes when they started learning first? I'm still there, by the way. All right. There's not many people that have made rotiyan here then, is there? Not many hands gone up. Sangto. ਮਾਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਨ ਕੁਚੱਜੀ ਅਮਾਵ ਨੇ ਡੋਸੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੇ ਦੋਸ਼ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮਾਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਰਸ ਹੈ ਵੈਸੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੁਰਸੇਵਕ ਸਿੰਘ Maharaj then goes on to say ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ but this is beautiful now. This is so beautiful because this is what most of us don't do. We're so good at recognizing the mistakes in ourselves, in how we're not good enough, and how we keep messing up. That's the part we're brilliant at. But Maharaj, this is the key, this is the essence. The essence is saying, Ardas, how, kyon, how? Shahu Ravan jai jiyo. I'm not giving up. I'm messing up. But oh, tell me, how can I go and enjoy that one, that divine? How can I be in the sanctuary of that one where I experience that divine bliss? Yes, I make mistakes, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep asking. What am I doing wrong? How can I be there? How can I be in that blissful state? If I'm not in that blissful state, if I'm not feeling joyous, if I'm not experiencing that pure oneness, then what am I doing wrong? I'm not making that into a negative and saying, oh, I'm so bad, I'm so bad. Yeah, I fell. But I'm asking you, what can I do to get there into the laps of my Guru Nanak? How kyon shohravan jai jiyo. This is beautiful. Now then, this bride that keeps falling over is not able to please her husband. Then she goes on to say, she looks around and she says, wow, ek du ek chadandiyan kaun jane mera nau jiyo. She said, when I look around, I see beautiful Gurseks. I see these beautiful human beings that have got these beautiful divine qualities. I look at one, I think, wow, look how amazing she is. And then I look over there and think, wow, even more, look how amazing she is. And I'm not looking at this, I'm not doing this, I'm not saying this in a negative way and saying that, well, forget it then. But I am recognizing something. I'm saying amongst all of that, when I see these amazing qualities within others, I'm saying, kaun jane mera naam jiyo? How is my name going to be known amongst these? Singhji, now we can say that. I remember discussing this Bani with Jagraj Singh, because we would always be talking to each other about, oh, what Shabad have you got memorized now? What Bani have you got memorized now? That would be our general conversation. And I remember we were doing a tour and we were in Huddersfield, and in the morning, so he first inspired me to learn the Shabad, the Bani, jo Deesai Gursikharraa. This never lagon pai jiyo. Sangat there was a camp in the south of London, one of these hippie, Sikhi type camps. And he had just come back from Canada, so he had been learning the Shabad, the jo Deesai Gursikharraa, this never lagon pai jiyo. So he inspired me then to learn this Bani. And then we met some time later, and then I said, oh, Jagraj Singh, thank you for that, inspiring me to learn that Bani. And then I would say, and I said, I added the other two that come before this as well, why don't you learn these? So that was our Gorpai relationship. And then he said, Sanade fe, and we'd be traveling to a program, and then one of us would say to each other, Chal Sanade fe, why don't you recite that Bani? And then I remember reciting this, Manj Kuchaji amavan dosade ho kyo shohravan jaye jiyo. Ek do ek chadandiyan kaun jane mera naun jiyo. And I thought, how beautiful is this? Recognizing my mistakes but not giving up and saying that minu raah das do haga koi raah dasan wala. So Sangat ji, what I did was today I asked some Sangat, I said tusi dasso. First of all, I think the first person I asked this question to was my wife in the morning. Came downstairs and I thought, I really don't know what to talk about today about Jagraj Singh. I've told so many stories about him over the last 5 years. I don't know what new to share, and I know it doesn't have to be new, and I know that we can still share the other things that we've shared before. So I asked my wife a question. I ask you all the same question, so you better be listening. Because I'm going to pick on some of you now once I put the question out there. I asked my wife, I said, when you hear the name Jagraj Singh, what comes to your mind? That was the question in the morning when we sat down for breakfast. I said, when you hear the name Jagraj Singh, what comes to your mind? And Sangaji, about an hour before, I put it out on my Instagram as well as a question. I noted down some of the response that came, and I'm sure there's probably so many more. I think within about 10 minutes I had about 20 people respond. Keeping in mind, Saturday afternoon, Instagram's a little bit quieter. So Sangaji, first I'll share with you what came to my wife's mind. For a moment, she went quiet, so I turned around and I asked her sister, I asked Suman. She was sitting there too. And Suman's husband is somebody that's been involved in Basics of Sikhi since day one. And it was Jagraj Singh that read the Lama Di Bani at Suman's wedding. It was Jagraj Singh that did the katha at their wedding, and we were all there together. And for her, it was just an emotion that came. So when she said the first thing, she goes, I just felt happy from inside hearing his name. And when I turned then ran to my wife, hers was the opposite emotion. Hers was, I felt a sense of sadness because of the separation, because of the closeness. And she said the first thing that came to my mind was that even though so many people contacted him, and for whatever reason, I can't quite work this out yet. How is it you form a certain relationship with certain people and how it becomes like that? Why is it that you end up creating a certain relationship with a certain someone, even though they might have come into your life quite recently, but something just happens where that relationship becomes deep really quickly? And then some you've known for years and still that connection isn't quite there, the depth isn't there. Other people you meet as well, but still it's just fateh and that's it. But how, I just don't know. So he would sometimes not respond to me for weeks. But he'd always phone me when he's falling asleep on the motorway though. Has anybody done that when they pretend you phone somebody up and you pretend you just want to have a chat, but you just want to try and stay awake? Who's done that? He used to do that to me. He's like, Baljit Singh. I was like, wow, Viji, it's amazing you've called. What's happening? He goes, yeah, just thought we'd discuss a Shabad. I thought, that's beautiful. He goes, I got a katha. He goes, can you just go through some of the prasang of the Shote Sabzade with me? I was like, yeah, Viji, that's no problem. And I go, what are you doing? He's just, I was just falling asleep on the motorway. I go, you didn't phone me to discuss a Shabad. He goes, I did, man, Singh. Don't be like that. And today, the other thing that came to my mind before I will finish off what my wife said. today I thought about, because again, got late from a program. Yesterday we're delivering a course in Leamington. And then we was at another program this morning. I didn't have a car to get here after the program, mum and dad somewhere. So I was all over the place, didn't get a chance to put a bana on. And now I'm thinking, people, Sangat saw me here. Baljit Singh, you're not doing a talk today. And I thought, I didn't get a chance to put a bana on, a kurta on, even though I do talks like this when I'm doing courses and whatever. And then I thought, you know what? It just makes sense to be wearing this today. Sangat, watch Jagraj Singh's earlier kathas. What's he wearing? A kurta top. So it's just, I don't believe in the whole it's meant to be thing. That doesn't make sense. That's another conversation. Join the contemplation sessions. Yeah, you'll get it. But I just felt, no, I'm all right, man. I'm wearing the right thing today. And he'd rock up in jeans. And if anybody noticed, he had a knee problem. Can you imagine this? That he's this new person that's rocked up in whenever it was, I think it was something like 2011. Everybody else that does gatha, it's so traditional. You've got to be properly dressed. You've got to start off with the right thing. Everything's going to be so perfect. And then there's this bride that turns up. Kuchaji, Mavana dosade. Yeah, man, I've got so many mistakes. And he had this little knee issue. You know how he used to sit on the stage when he first turned up? Like this. He used to be sat like this. I don't know. I can't even do it. Aida baitha hunda siga. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa. Like, whoa, how do you even do that? That's like some proper yoga stuff. And then he had to have jeans on. His lattan will be all over the place. Oh, look, beautiful demonstration there. Thank you, Mataji. I really struggled. I'll try once. No, I ain't going to try again. Anyway, sometimes we're trying to be so perfect before we start something. We're waiting for the perfect moment, the right moment. And what did Jagraj Singh say when he sat on that stage? And he went through Mool Mantar. And then the Sangat said, oh, you can't stop now. Do the Japji Sahib. He goes, nah. He goes, I'm just a filler in. Because I ain't like that guy. I'm not the guy that does this gatha stuff. He goes, nobody else was just doing it in English. He goes, I'm just filling in, just Mool Mantar's cool for me. So he didn't come with a plan to do Mool Mantar, to do Japji Sahib Katha. He just thought, all right, we've got an opportunity, and check this out. I don't know who the committee is now, but I'm just going to share this anyway, Sankaji. So if somebody's watching and was the committee at that time, look, I'm sharing this anyway. So he approached them and he said to them, he said, "Main English vich katha karni hai. I want to do a talk in English." And you know what? They were trying to fob him off. They didn't want him to do it. So you know what they did? Try to be clever. Marji says that chitarai syanpa kite kaam na aiyan. You know, these clevernesses, they don't work in Vaheguru's world. Chitarai syanpa kite kaam na aiye. Tutta sahib jo deve soi sukh paiye. But Marj says that when you're able to please Vaheguru, you watch the way Vaheguru just gives you. In abundance. Khave, kharche, ral mil pai, tot na aave, vaddo jai, Marj says. So they had a meeting and they planned, they said, you know what, a good way to get rid of him is give him a slot where nobody turns up. So they said, you're not getting the Sunday peak time. They said, come at 6 p.m. on a Sunday evening. And they thought, no one's going to come, he'll do one in a bit. Asangji, he came, about 20 people came. And then he sat like the way he sat. He had his jeans on, his kurta top, and Sangat said, no, carry on, we want more from you. Sangat eventually built up to about 200 people. More than they would even have at the peak time on a Sunday. Because Tutta Sahib Jo Deve, if you please that one, because what did he come with? What did he come with? Je jana shoh nandada ta thoda maan kari. He came with no pride. he didn't claim to be perfect. He said, I'm literally filling in. He goes, I don't have to do katha. And you know what the crazy thing is? I actually had somebody call me and say, have you seen this new guy that's doing this katha? I was like, yeah. They go, he doesn't have to do katha. And I thought, that's perfect, because he's not claiming to know as well. Man Kuchaji Amavan dosade, but he was saying, "How kyon shoravan jaiju?" He said, "Tell me the way." He was open, because he had so much humility. He was open, because humility is a superpower. The Guru says that to us. Garibi gada hamari khanna sagal rain chari. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji goes on to say, "Is aage ko na tike vikari." Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji Sangat Ji dekho o Gurmukh pyare di inni kamai कि उन्हें आप आज कोई ना कोई कला बरता दी, कोई शक्ति दे दी बोलने वास्ते. महाराज सच्चे पातशाह गुरु अर्जन देव जी पातशाह दी बाणी आ, वो कहंदे गरीबी गदा हमारी. It's literally, that's one pankti, so it's going to come up, it's just 3 words. There you go. Maharaj is saying that somebody asked Maharaj, somebody was on the way to attack Maharaj, Sulbi Khan. And they said to Maharaj, we're not ready. Maharaj, shouldn't we have some form of weapons? Maharaj, Maharaj, I've got one. And they said, what? Maharaj then recited the shabad, Gribi Gada Hamari. They said, my spiked club mace is my humility, Guru Arjan Dev Ji said. Khanna sagal rain chari. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji kende, my khanna, my khanda, my double-edged sword or a dagger is that I am the dust of everyone. So Jagraj Singh came and sat on that stage. He said, I don't have to do Katha of Japji Sahib. He said, what did he say? Haun kyon shohravan jaye jiyo. Ik do ik chadandiyan kaun. Nobody knows me. Who am I? He goes, but when I look around, I can see these beautiful souls. He said, let me ask them. Jai pucho sohagani vahe kinni bati. And who did he then go to? He went to the Katha of Sant Singh Maskeen Ji. He then started learning from Sant Singh Maskeen Ji, Gyani Kulwant Singh Ji, and then Gyani Sukhraj Singh Ji from Leeds. Those were his first original sources to learn Japji Sahib Katha, because he wasn't full of arrogance. He wasn't waiting to be perfect to start. He said, I don't know, but I'm going to ask. And then I'm just going to repeat. And then he used to turn up with an A4 piece of paper. By the way, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. He turned up with an A4 piece of paper, lined piece of paper, with notes on there, and he'd be like shuffling through them whilst he's doing katha and just reading. And look at the impact that he had. Don't wait to be perfect to start. Sangatji, today's Diwan was called Just Take a Step. Because Jagraj Singh just took a step. His mother went to the Gurdwara on Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Paatshah Ji Shahidi. She picked up a book where it had the history of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. He just took one step, and that one step has reached to how many? What was that one step he took? He was 21 years old. Who's of a similar age? 21? All right. Singhji was 21 years old. His mom brought this book home from the Gurdwara. He didn't have his case. He didn't know anything of Sikhi. He opened this book, and what did he read? He read that Guru Gobind Rai, at the age of 9, is saying to Bhai Jagraj, is saying to Maaf Karna Bhai Jagraj, saying Bhai Jagraj, कहंदे जदों मेरे पिताजी ने अपना सीस दिता, कहंदे कोई अगे नहीं आया, कोई सिख खड़ा नहीं होया, अगे नहीं आया. And Sangat Ji, He's reading that Guru Gobind Singh Ji at the age of 9 is asking Bhai Jagraj, when my father gave his head, weren't any Sikhs to be recognized and come forward? Bhai Jagraj Ji, and he's reading this, and they said no, they couldn't recognize who's a Sikh there. And then he read that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha Ji said that main eho jiha roop tiyar karanga, that I will prepare such a form for my Sikhs that they will stand out amongst millions. Jab lag khalsa rahe nyara, tab lag tej diyu main sara. Maharaj said that if you remain unique and distinct and stand out from the world. And Sangaji, I was thinking, what else does that even mean? Sometimes we put so much pressure on our minds that we have to do something huge, we have to do something so big. But Sangaji, taking on Sikhi, never mind doing something big for the world, just taking on Sikhi in the context, what I mean by taking on Sikhi is taking on the Guru's mat and living your life in that way is huge for this world. Sangaji, what do I mean by that? Because the rest of the world, their eyes look through the lens of lust. They don't see brothers and sisters. They see bodies and shapes. It's their lust looking. But if Sikhi Sangatji, what does it provide you? How does it make you unique and distinct and allow you to stand out? Because you are going to be that one, no matter where you turn up in life, even if it's in your workplaces, you're going to be the one that is saying, Dekh paraiyan, changiyan mama, pena. You're going to be the one that is saying, my eyes only see a sister. You're going to be the ones that are saying that here's my head, take your hand and put your hand above my head. Karke tu mere vaste maa jaisi hai, tu mere vaste, you're like a mother to me. Aa maa meriye, apna hath mere sir upar rakh de, jab lag khalsa, rehe niyara. Tab lag tej diyo main sara. And when you meet such a Gursikh like that, then what's going to happen? Jo Deesai Gursikharraa, tis niv niv lago pae jiyo. When you meet such a Gursikh, when you see that Gursikh's eyes are so intoxicated in the love of Guru Nanak, those eyes only see mothers. Those eyes only see sisters. Those eyes only see daughters. Those eyes only see fathers, brothers and sons. When you see such intoxicated eyes, you're going to go and then you're going to fall at their feet and say, wow, jo Deesai Gursikharraa tis niv niv lago pae jiyo. You're going to say, Akhan, birtha, ji ki, let me tell you the pains of my heart, because I am filled with lust. I am struggling with these things, with these demons. And I was thinking, sometimes we avoid these conversations, don't talk about these conversations enough, about the lens that the Guru has given us. And they need to be spoken about, because still I hear back from people that their partner was cheating, that this was happening, their marriage is now destroyed, they don't know what to do. Do they stay? Do they break it up? They've got kids, all sorts. What's happening? Because they weren't wearing Guru Nanak's lens. Imagine just turning up into the world like that. That's enough. We put so much pressure on our minds, मैं कुछ करना है. जो ते दूसरियां नु भैणा ही वेख लवे ना, तू बहुत कुछ कर लिया. जिन तेनू अपने अखां दे नाल केवल भैण ही नजर आवे, तू बहुत कुछ कर लिया. संगत जी, when he read that, and it said in that book that Guru Gobind Singh wants people to know that when somebody looks so distinct, I can look towards them because they will hold our arm, because they won't have any other agenda. Because they will only come with compassion, because that's what Guru Nanak said. Guru Nanak says, if you're going to share any wisdom with somebody, make sure the serving spoon is what? What's the words? What's the lines from Japji Sahib? Guru Nanak saying, if you're going to share any wisdom with somebody, what should the serving spoon be? Ready for the lines? Bhogat, Gyan, Daya. So this is where you complete the sentence. To spoil karta, innu auna chahiye Japji Sahib. Bhogat, Gyan, Daya, Pandaran. Sangat ji, Guru Nanak didn't go to spread a religion. Guru Nanak left his home and children to relieve people from their suffering. Bhai Gurdas ji said very clearly, Baba dekha, dhyan dhar, jalti sab, prithvi dis aayi. Bhai Gurdas ji is saying that Guru Nanak had this deep insight of what was happening in the world. Those of you, when you become sensitive, you start to feel their energy and how dukhi and how much people are suffering. You know that from inside. You can feel it from inside. Baba dekha dhyan tar jalti sab prithvi dis aayi. Guru Nanak could see that the whole world is burning. Guru Nanak said, I can't stop back now. Why? Because I can hear something inside of my heart. And what is that voice I can hear? I can hear ha kardi suni lukai. That baaj guru gubar hai. That people are living in this ignorance, disconnected from that divine wisdom that sits inside of all of us. I can hear people ha kardi, they're crying. Guru Nanak said, I've got to go. And what did then Guru Nanak do? They are Pandaran, that served with the serving spoon of compassion. Well, Pandaran is the actual person that serves. It's got to come from compassion. Don't speak to somebody with an agenda. Don't think, oh, this is a chance to get them into Sikhi. Instead, think, I want to share Guru Nanak's wisdom with them from compassion. Let your compassion speak. Let your compassion do what it needs to do. Have faith in your compassion. Because everything comes from there. Taul dharam daya ka poot. Sangat ji, Jagraj Singh said, in that moment, Jagraj Singh said, because Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha Ji wanted to create such a form so people could see that if they are standing out, these are the people that have got compassion in their hearts. And then people know to go and approach them. And he said in his mind at 21, he goes, I want to help people. I want people to know that I would help them. He said, even though I am one of those that do want to help people, and I want people to know, he said, but how will they know? I haven't even got the form. So he took that one step. And he said, I'm going to keep the case on my head. I'm going to continue trimming my beard. That's what he said. Look, sometimes, he didn't say he was perfect. Manj Kuchaji. Sangaji, he said, I want to keep my case on the star because look how beautiful that is. He said, I want to keep my case because I want people to know I do want to help them. And did he help? Wow. He's a human being that helped the world. Let me bring it all the way back to the question I asked my wife in the morning. I said, what memory comes to your mind? He said, I want to help the world. He said, I want people to know when they look at me, he has taken on the form of Guru Gobind Singh. So he's inside, he's saying, if you need any help, let me know. If you need any help, let me know. I said to her, just what memory comes to your mind? I understand this. There's an emotion that comes up. And she said, one memory that comes to mind. She said, when you was at the peak of being poorly, being in the midst of your mental health breakdown, in 2017, this is when Jagraj Singh was deteriorating physically with his cancer. He was en route to Germany to get some alternative therapy done. And my wife Indra spoke to him, and he said, oh, how is he? How is he doing? At that point, I was in a non-functional state. And brain had just completely, I call it, when it's like it starts misfiring. Your memories all get muddled up, nothing makes sense. And it's just like memories are shooting. You can't make sense of what was the past or now, or everything gets muddled up in your head. And so you turn against people, nothing makes sense, you think, oh, it's their fault. So I was in that state where I couldn't really communicate. So he's now deteriorating with his cancer. He's lost so much weight. And she said, he's not doing great. And he said, do you know what I want to do from my heart in this very moment? And she said, what, Virji? He said, I've only got one wish. If I could just escape from what's going on in these treatments, I just want to be there, move in with you guys for a few weeks, and I want to support him and be there for him. He said, that's it, that's all I want. That's why he had the impact he had on this world. He said, I want to keep my gear so people can see me and they know that I want to help people. Let's take that inspiration from him and let's sing these words. Jo Deesai Gursikharraa tis niv niv laggon pae jiyo. When we see such a Gursik, just want to fall at their feet. And I just want to cry my heart out to them. Aakhan, birtha ji ki. And what am I saying to them? Gursajjan deh malai jiyo. Unite me with that true friend, my Guru. I asked Jatinder Singh, who's been there from day one with us, who attended my very first talk I did. It was meant to be for Seek to Inspire, but Jagraj Singh hijacked it and made it into a basic of Sikhi talk. And so it was combined in the end, right? Look, it's not that one organization one over the other, right? And Jatinder Singh was there from the beginning, from that very day. It was the first time we met, Jatinder and his wife. And I remember actually sharing with Benji that she asked about reading books, and I shared with her to read Bhai Veer Singh. And I asked Jatinder Singh, I said, what comes to your mind? Just asked him in the Langar hall, because he's been there from day dot. And he's still a huge part of the organization. And what Jatinder Singh said was Jagraj's relationship with not running around to everyone else first when he had an issue. He would go straight to the Guru and take a hukamnama first. But he was so humble, he then wouldn't even attempt to interpret it on his own. He would have a look at it, take an understanding, but then he would contact often myself and say, Viji, can you help me break this hukamnama down so I can understand what Guru Sahib is saying to me? That's how he lived his life. That was his life. His life was the Guru and the Sangat. And that Jatinder Singh reminded me. I'm just going to read the list out and then we can sing this Shabad. That's some of the things that people sent to me. The first thing that I put down was what my wife said. he wanted to come and look after you whilst being so ill. The second thing that came up on my Instagram stories were people said he was relatable. He wasn't out of reach, he was relatable. Who else feels that about Jagraj Singh, that he was relatable? Yeah. Somebody else said that he was a man full of analogies. Explain complex things in a simple way. Somebody said he was the founder of Basics. Somebody put, he's very much missed. Humble warrior. Somebody said that when they hear his voice, the first thing that comes to their mind is Sikhi. Knowledgeable and courageous. He was so courageous. I remember when the Gurdwara tried to stop him from doing Katha there when they got into a bit of a dispute. And he said, Baljit Singh, he phoned me up, he said, look, obviously you know I'm not going to stop. He goes, no matter what they do, he goes, I'm going to protest outside in the car park. He goes, I've got some handcuffs and I'm going to chain myself and handcuff myself to the railings outside in the car park. And I'm going to get all the Sangat there. He said, what do you think? And that's what I said. I said, Chaka de kamane. He was so determined, that guy would not back off. We go to an Anand Karaj and they try and we're supposed to do Katha there. They try and say to him, you know, they'd look at us like just these kids have turned up. And even though we're like well into our 30s with kids, and they'd say, Baach lal your time. This is what the Gyanis would say. Go on afterwards, after the Ardas, everything's done. And just make sure we get to do the announcement for building fund before you lot speak. And he would not step back. He'd say, Nasi pelna karni katha. He goes, main ban laga hai. He goes, je menu thalna, tusi aake thal diyo menu chakna pauga. He goes. He'd say, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to start my katha. If you want to lift me off, that's fine. He goes, I ain't doing katha afterwards. He goes, because Sangat's not going to listen then. Because the whole point is that the Sangat comes to know about Sikhi. He goes, main ban laga, tusi jo marji kar lo. Sometimes we've got to just be determined. A little knock and we sometimes just get so discouraged. Somebody put a lightning bulb. Oh, that was quite fitting. A lightning bulb that came but left with a big impact. Always ready, a legend. Somebody put that he helped with back to loving Sikhi. Somebody else said that today as well, just in the Langar hall. Said that he was my love back to Sikhi. I had Sikhi in the house from my parents, and this person said that, but I chose Sikhi myself, then through Jagraj Singh. He was steadfast banda. That's what Jet said actually. He said, I added the word banda to it. Steadfast banda. Main banda bag khareed. Banda in Farsi means slave. And he definitely was that of the Sangat and the Guru. Somebody said they just felt a sense of love and peace and love oozed out of him. Inclusivity. Didn't separate people, included everyone. Sacrifice. He sacrificed a lot. You know, he had a very successful business that he'd walked away from. He was a true leader, Chardi Kala. And I'm sure that my Instagram is filled with probably about 100 more now. No, I'm not going to read them. Though that was really nice going through that actually. It was really nice. Sangaji, anything else that comes to your mind, even if it was the same, but you just want to share it and just say it now. Virji, what comes to your mind? Did you listen to Jagraj Singh? Love for Sikhi. Who thinks that he filled in quite well for whoever he was waiting to turn up to do the job? Who thinks he did quite a good job of filling in? He did all right. He did all right. Let's sing. Aakhan birtha ji ki gur sajjan deh malai jiyo. Soi das upadesada mera man anat na kahu jaye jiyo. Only tell me that which is fitting within the Guru's wisdom, so my mind doesn't go off anywhere else. This part's beautiful. It says, you know, when you meet such a Gursikh, you just want to give him everything, don't you? And then you're just like, eh man tanku dev sa, I'm going to give my mind to you. Eh man tanku dev sa, main marg deo batai, just tell me the way, I'll give my whole mind to you. And this person now, you may have felt like this at some point in your life. You might feel like this right now, where you're thinking, but don't let me down, show me the way. Aya duro chal ka, I've come from such a long way. Doesn't mean Wolverhampton, because so many people have said to me, we came all the way from Wolverhampton. I was like, inni dur ne ga yaar. It doesn't mean I came all the way from Wolverhampton. Aya duro chal ke means that I've gone through so much in my life. I'm battered, I'm wounded. Just don't let me go empty now. I need now your protection, your sanctuary. And then saying that asa rakhi chit meh mera sabbo dukh gavaye jiyo. I've got so much hope inside of my heart now coming to you. Now just take away this suffering that I come with. And who is that Gursikh? What does that Gursikh say in return? That Gursikh says, Et marg challe bhai. This is now the return. This is now the Gursikh speaking, saying, walk this path. Gur kah so kar kamaye jiyo. Walk that path that the Guru has laid out for you. Walk that path. Let's just take this away today, that whoever you see. I gave this challenge yesterday in Leamington. When you walk away today, challenge yourself. Go and say Fateh. Go and greet somebody that you don't know after today's Diwan, and greet them with those lenses of the Guru, and see a sister and see a brother. Put your hands together before them and greet them with absolute devotion. That is the marg of the Guru. That is what the Gursikh says. Walk this path. Eho marg challe bhaiyde, gur keh sokar kamaye ji tyage man ki matdi. Just let go of your cleverness, your ways, your mind. Just let that go now. Visare duja bhau jiyo. Just forget walking that other way. Walk this way. Eho pava. You start doing that. Just start off with that one thing. I remember 15 years ago, training my mind day by day when I would be going to work, training my mind, because that mind was that one that fell and didn't see sisters. But I remember going through the training and saying, this is what my Guru wants. Every time then my eyes would look again from that lustful eye, then I would say, Dekh paraiyan changiyan. Mawa bhaina dhiyan. No, see your own sister within this sister. It teri bhain hai. And a day will come where you see nothing but sisters, mothers and daughters. That's all that you see. There's nothing else left. That's what will happen to you in your life then. When you walk that path, then et marg challe bhaiyede. Tyage man ki matdi, visare duja bhau jiyo ho apo. That you pave hardar savada, you'll start to see Vaheguru everywhere. You'll start to see the light in everything and everyone. Lagge tatti vau jiyo. Ho apo bolna. The Gursikh will say, I will never tell you something from my own way of thinking. Main kahya sab hukmao jiyo. I'll only tell you the Guru's order. I'll tell you nothing else. I share only the Guru's wisdom with you, never something of myself. Let's sing this. Sare ne gauna hai.
Jo Deesai Gursikharraa, is niv niv lago bhai jiyo. Jo Deesai Gursikharraa, is niv niv lago bhai jiyo. Is niv niv lago ਲਾਗੋ ਦੁੱਖ ਗਵਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਰਗ ਚੱਲੇ ਭਾਈ ਅੜੇ ਗੁਰ ਕਹੈ ਸੁਕਾਰ ਕਮਾਏ ਜਿਉ ਮਾਰਗ ਚੱਲੇ ਭਾਈ ਅੜੇ ਗੁਰ ਕਹੈ ਸੁਕਾਰ ਕਮਾਏ ਜਿਉ त्यागे मन की मसड़ी त्यागे मन की मसड़ी त्यागे मन की मसड़ी त्यागे मन की मसड़ी विसारे दूजा विसारे दूजा यो पावे हर दर सावड़ा यो पावे हर दर सावड़ा नह लग तटी जियो न लगे तटी जियो हो आपो बोल ना जानदा बोल ना जानदा मैं कहया सब हुक्मां जियो मैं कहया सब हुक्मां जियो हर भगत खजाना बख्शिया हर भगत खजाना बख्शिया हर भगत खजाना बख्शिया गुरु नानक दिया पसार जियो दिया पसार गुरु नानक दिया पसार जियो गुरु नानक दिया पसार जियो मैं बोहड़ न कृष्णा भुखड़ी मैं बोहड़ न कृष्णा भुखड़ी हाँ रजा त्रिपत लगाए जियो हाँ रजा त्रिपत लगाए जो गुरदीस सिखड़ा जो गुरदीस जो गुरदीस सिखड़ा जो गुरदीस तिसने गुनिवला को पाए जियो तिसने गुनिवला को पाए जो गुरदीस सिखड़ा जो गुरदीस सिखड़ा तिसने गुनिवला को पाए जियो तिसने गुनिवला को पाए तिस निव निवला को पाए जियो 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 महला पंजवा धन धन श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जीओ बरस बना मेरा मन भीना 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 मेरा मन भीना अमृत बूंद सुहानी है अमृत बूंद सुहानी है अमृत बूंद सुहानी है अमृत बूंद गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना बरस बना मेरा मन भीना 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 सुन कपूर अपने प्रीतम करो बिनोद अपने प्रीतम करो बिनोद अपने प्रीतम करो बिनोद अपने प्रीतम हर वर आण मिलावे हर वर आण मिलावे सुन धन कोर सीतल मन मोरा सुन धन कोर सीतल मन मोरा सुन धन कोर सीतल मन मोरा सीतल मन मोरा लाल रती गुण गावे लाल रती गुण गावे सुन धन कोर सीतल मन मोरा सुन धन कोर सीतल मन मोरा लाल रती लाल रती लाल रती गुण गावे लाल रती गुण गावे जी लाल रती गुण गावे लाल रती गुण गावे बरस बना मेरा मन भीना बरस बना मेरा मन भीना अमृत बूंद सुहानी है अमृत बूंद सुहानी गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना गुरमोही मन हर रगलीना बरस बना मेरा मन भीना बरस बना मेरा बरस बना मेरा मन भीना बरस बना मेरा मन सहज सुखी वर कामण प्यारी सहज सुखी वर कामण प्यारी सहज सुखी वर कामण प्यारी सहज सुखी कामण प्यारी जिस गुरबचनी मन ਮਾਨਿਆ ਜਿਸ ਗੁਰ ਬਚਨੀ ਮਾਨਿਆ ਹਰ ਵਰ ਨਾਰ ਮਹਿਰੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਬੂੰਦ ਸੁਹਾਨੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਬੂੰਦ ਸੁਹਾਨੀ ਗੁਰਮੋਹੀ ਮਨ ਹਰ ਰਸ ਲੀਨਾ ਗੁਰਮੋਹੀ ਮਨ ਹਰ ਰਸ ਲੀਨਾ ਬਰਸ ਘਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਭੀਨਾ ਬਰਸ ਘਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਭੀਨਾ ਬਰਸ ਘਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਭੀਨਾ ਬਰਸ ਘਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਮ ਕਲੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਕੋ ਅੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਆਨੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਵੈਜ ਭੇਟੀ ਮਨ ਬਜੀਆਂ ਰਾਈਆਂ ਰਾਗ ਰਤਨ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਕਰੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਵਣਿਆ ਸਭ ਤੂੰ ਤਗਾਵੋ ਹਰੀ ਕੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਜਿਨੀ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਨੰਦੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਏ ਮਨ ਮੇਰਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰ ਨਾਲ ਰਹੋ ਤੂੰ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਭ ਵਿਸਾਰਨਾ ਅੰਗੀਕਾਰ ਕਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਾਰਜ ਸਭ ਸਵਾਰ ਸਭਨਾ ਗਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਸੋ ਕੋ ਮਨੋ ਵਿਸਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਨ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਸਾਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਾ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਤੇ ਕਰਤਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਦੁਆਰੇ ਸਦਾ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਨ ਕੈ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਵਾਜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਤੇ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਸਾਚ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਨ ਭੁੱਖਾ ਸਭ ਗਵਾਈ ਕਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਸੁਖ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਵਸਿਆ ਜਿਨ ਇੱਛਾ ਸਭ ਜਾਨ ਸਦਾ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੂੰ ਬਿਟੋ ਜਿਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੋ ਸੰਤੋ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਰੋ ਪਿਆਰੋ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਭਾਜੇ ਪੰਜ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤੁਝ ਭਰ ਸਮਾਗੇ ਭੁੱਲਾ ਸਪਾਗੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਾਜੇ ਭਲਾ ਜਿਤ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੰਜ ਦੂਤ ਤੁਝ ਵਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਘੁਰ ਭਰਮ ਪਾਇਆ ਤੁਝ ਜਿਨ ਕੋ ਸੇ ਨਾਮ ਹਰ ਲਾਗੇ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੈ ਸਤੋ ਆਦਿਤ ਕਰ ਅਨਵਾਰ ਅਨਕ ਸੁਣੋ ਵਡ ਪਾਗਿਓ ਸਗਲ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਪੂਰੇ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਾਇਆ ਉਤਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਵਿਚੂਰ ਰੋਗ ਸੰਤਾਪ ਤੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੰਤ ਸਾਜਨ ਪਏ ਸਰਦੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਜਾਣ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਪੁਣੀ ਕਹਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਸਤ ਗੁਰ ਰਹਿਆ ਬਿਨ ਵੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ ਵਾਜੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਲੋਕ ਭਵਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਿਤਾ ਮਾਤਾ ਕਰਤ ਮਹਤ ਦਿਵਸ ਰਾਤ ਕੋਈ ਗਾਈ ਦਾਇਆ ਖੇਲੇ ਸਤ ਜਗ ਜੰਗ ਆਈਆਂ ਬੁਰੀਆਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਵਾਜੇ ਕਰਮ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੇ ਦੂਰ ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਗੇ ਮਸ਼ਕਤ ਪਾਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਮੁਖ ਦੁਜਨੇ ਬੇਟੀ ਜਿਨੀ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਸਤ